air seemed to be full of giggles. There was plenty of laughing and shouting as the pups had a marble race. Then they chuckled as they sailed paper sailboats in the wading pool until they sank. They bubbled with glee as each of them painted stones the most beautiful colors. They were running out of things to laugh about and having fun with when Billy brought out a balloon. She'd been saving it for just the right time. All the pups puffed with her as she tried to blow it up. Finally, it was full and tied off. Billy thumped it hard. It sailed up into the sky. The pups watched it and chased it. As it started to come down, Smudge jumped up and he bopped it back up into the sky. Tanker was next, and he did a silly jump that made everybody laugh. And Farrah raced over and hit it with two hands. Everyone looked at Dilly as the balloon drifted down again. Dilly did jump to hit it, but Tanker jumped higher than she did, and he hit it instead. Dilly was surprised. She raced again and tried to hit it before Smudge, but she had no time. Smudge was taller and hit it away before her. When Smudge leapt up and hit it with his head, not only did it cause the pups to stop and laugh for a second, but it shot the balloon across the yard. The pups took off shouting and racing to catch it. They chased it, bopping it up in the air every time it came down. It was a bit frustrating for Dilly because she was so short. But the laughing and silliness was so much fun that she didn't mind. Tanker was determined to punch the balloon up as high as it could go, and when he did, it went up high, very high. At first that was fabulous, but everybody could see what was going to happen. The balloon hit a tree, and with a loud pop, it burst, as balloons do. The pups stopped running and jumping and laughing. They stood still for a moment. And then they all looked at Dilly. Dilly looked at the balloon bits drifting toward the ground. She was shocked. She thought her balloon would last a long time, but there it was, clearly popped and gone. Tanker walked right over to Dilly and apologized. He was very sorry he'd broken the balloon. Dilly looked at him. I think somewhere inside she knew it wasn't his fault, but it was her balloon and it was gone, and at that moment, it looked like it was Tanker's fault. Dilly didn't say anything. She turned around and headed straight to the fire station. Tanker felt very badly and called out that he was sorry again. Farrah told him she knew he was, but Dilly just kept walking. None of the three pups knew what to do. Dilly came and sat on my bumper, as she liked to do when she felt bad. She told me what had happened and how angry she was feeling toward Tanker. She added that she only got to bop the balloon once. I told her that accidents happen. Tanker had only meant to have the same fun everybody else was having. It was just that the balloon popped on his turn. I don't think Dilly wanted to believe me at first, but then I think she realized I was right. And just at that moment, my radio crackled and an emergency rescue was required. Petunia was calling for Bertha, the beetle. The pups came on the run. In seconds, we were racing down the streets of Pontiac. When we found Bertha, she was nearly hysterical. She was as mad as a hornet, and that's mad for a beetle. Bertha was stuck in a bottle. Now, she knew she could get out because she knew she had flown in through an opening. But the more she searched, the more she couldn't find it. And the more she couldn't find it, the angrier she got. Smudge tried to show her where the hole was, but Bertha just bumped into the bulge in the bottleneck and couldn't get out. Then Farrah had an excellent idea. She found some string in my toolbox and slowly lowered it in. At first, Bertha just buzzed, and then the string gently tapped her on her head, and she stopped. Farrah asked her to hold onto the string, and she would pull her out. Bertha, as you can imagine, was exhausted. delighted to have help. She grabbed onto the string, and slowly and carefully, Farah pulled her out. Outside on a flower petal, Bertha felt a lot better. She tried to calm down. The sun and smiling faces made her anger disappear. Bertha thanked the pups and me. She told us that she had been really silly. She'd been angry, and that had spoiled everything. If she had stopped and thought about what had happened and the best way to find the opening, she was sure she would have gotten herself out. She thanked Petunia for making the call. She was a good friend. With another thank you to us, she flapped her wings and lifted off the pedal, and she headed for home. The pups headed for me. Dilly stopped Tanker and said she felt a bit like Bertha. She was angry that her balloon had popped, and that anger had caused her to ignore Tanker's apology. She said she should have accepted it because everybody knows that balloons break all the time. It happened, and that was that. Tanker gave her a big hug and told her that he would have been disappointed too, just like her, if it had been his balloon. And he never meant to make her unhappy. And now that she was happy again, he felt much better. They walked over to me arm in arm, and I knew Dilly felt better. Actually, we all felt better. And I'm sure if one day someone bursts your balloon, you'll remember that they may not have intended to burst it. Accidents happen. I know you'll be able to say, it's okay.
Here's some things that are fun to do. Fun for the friends who play with you. Fun for a bunch, or just for two. Fun for me, and fun for you. Like playing leapfrog on the grass. Jump over each other without toppling your friends. Then, wait your turn, and do it again. Watch out where your leap ends up.